Eric Bischoff. 15th of July, Eric Bischoff finally makes his WWE debut. But guess what? It wasn't with the McMahon handshake. It was backstage with Jonathan Coachman.
And Booker T, damn it. But yeah, we say hello to Eric Bischoff and we say goodbye to the NWO. And that is pretty much how we kicked off the show. McMahon comes out, cuts a promo, says that the NWO is finished, it's over, the NWO era is gone. He brought up all these errors in the past that were basically focused around one wrestler. So he brought up wrestlers from before my time, that I can't even remember whose names they were.
Pedro Morales.
Bruno Sammartino, maybe.
Superstar Billy Graham.
Billy Graham. Then he went on to Hulk Hogan. Then he went on to the Ultimate Warrior. Then he went on to Bret Hart. There might have been someone else in between. Macho Man. Bret Hart.
Surprised you mentioned Macho Man.
I'm surprised you mentioned Bret Hart. And then he went on.
Bret Hart, funny enough, had a stroke 11 days before this show aired.
Damn, maybe McMahon felt bad or something and tried to...
Maybe he was fucking burying him.
Possibly.
Brett's lying in his hospital
basically saying that Brett's over, Brett's done, Brett's finished. And then he went on to say that the Austin era was like the last era, and now we say goodbye to the NWO era. I mean, I get this is McMahon putting an end to it, but is that all we see? The NWO finishes because Brock Lesnar tears his quad. Not Brock Lesnar, big sexy Nash tears his quad, and that's it. I feel like the NWO in WWE started off really good and then quickly went to shit. And I think I think as soon as they kicked Hogan out, I think it still had potential. But then you lost Hall, and you replace Hogan and Hall with X-Pac and Show, and it's just not going to work.
But see, the problem is, I feel like if you had Hall, Nash, and Michaels is the leader, and I think for a WWE version that could have been really fucking good. But there's just one problem with that. Hall's away, Nash's legs are like glass, and Michaels ain't working.
Yeah, so basically the only two guys that were working were X-Pac and Big Show, and that
doesn't work for me, brother.
Don't work for me, brother.
I just think it's very cheap that the NWO's run WWE comes to an end with McMahon cutting a promo.
Not even a loser leaves, or not even like, I don't know, could we not seen Booker T get revenge or something, take out X-Pac? Now, JR did reference, he did let us know on commentary that X-Pac has taken a leave of absence, so I think that's X-Pac out the company. Could we not have got McMahon firing them or something?
Yeah, it's just weird. Like, you'd think with the arrival of Bischoff, they'd maybe try and factor that in.
Yeah, since Bischoff created the NWO, it's like, wouldn't Bischoff want the NWO here? Or would it not have been better if Bischoff got rid of them? It was like, I carried yous in WCW. Or maybe he could have blamed them for destroying WCW.
It's just the fact last week Michael's given it that you will end up on the ground. NWO's taking over. And then like the next week, we don't even see him.
I definitely think they could have factored Bischoff into the NWO imploding or whatever, but disbanding. But no, we didn't get that. We did not get that. But McMahon does say that there will be a new general manager tonight, and he is going to announce it at the end of the hour.
Yep, we could have seen that. We also have, just before that, we actually did have Paul Heyman kissing up to The Undertaker as the show kicked off. But
how could I forget about that one? Paul Heyman saying that Brock Lesnar respects The Undertaker. He's honoured to team up with Undertaker tonight. I don't know if Undertaker was buying it, though. Undertaker told Paul, don't touch me. Don't fucking touch me again.
Yeah, back to the NWO, right? Could Michaels no interrupt the McMahon here? I was like, oh, the NWO ain't dead. And then McMahon issues like an ultimatum. Well, you guys have to win this match or something tonight. Could then not have been inserted into the main event?
You're fired.
No, this doesn't actually sit right with me. I'm all for, I mean, wrestling back in the day is great, but I look at this and I think this is fucking pish. This is something to do now, where they just put someone, brush it under the carpet.
Well, the Big Show versus Booker T, right? A match that we don't want. But what if they put that match on tonight's show instead of sticking it on Vengeance and made it loser leaves Raw? Booker T wins. Booker T and Goldust get to stay on Raw. Big Show wins. NWO get to stay on Raw.
Yeah, but we don't even get like Michaels saying he's leaving. This is the NWO. This ain't some fucking throwaway faction. They're like, you know, right to censor. They've
literally treated the NWO like they're a bunch of jobbers that got released for their contracts.
Yeah.
and weren't on the next show. Crazy, absolutely crazy. Anyway, we kick on. Ric Flair is backstage. He's asked about Mr. McMahon's announcement, but he doesn't really know, and at the moment he doesn't really care.
Yeah. He says he knows one thing, only a McMahon can lead the WWE. Kind of burying himself, like, here, see that wee run I had at the start of the year? I was fucking pissed.
But it's good that he acknowledged that. It's good that he acknowledged that run was shit, so I like the way that tied in, Ric Flair tying in his failed run as Raw GM, and let's be real guys, it was pretty much a failed run. Then we got what felt like it was out of place, a 6-man tag elimination match. Not saying it was bad, just kind of wasn't expecting this. Don't know why they made it elimination.
It was a fun match.
It was a fun match, but you don't normally get this on Raw that often.
With Spike, Bubba, and Jeff taking on Regal, Benoit, and Guerrero.
Well, did we really have Spike? The guy got eliminated in like 10 seconds. He didn't last very long.
Just before the match, they're putting all the Dudleys. They love table match. It's going to be a 2-on-2 match at Vengeance, and then he's fucked out after 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's just not the same Spike and Bubba, isn't it? Not. It's not Bubba and Devon. Anyway, we lose Spike, we lose Bubba. It goes down to 3-on-1. We then get a bit of a comeback for Jeff Hardy. He manages to eliminate Regal. Then he manages to eliminate Guerrero. But unfortunately for him, Guerrero isn't leaving. Guerrero's trying to get back in the ring. Referee tries to push Guerrero out. But before he can do that, before he can turn back around, William Regal's back in, hits Jeff Hardy with the knocks. And then Benoit locks in the crossface and makes... Well, he doesn't make Jeff tap. I guess Jeff's just knocked out and the referee calls the finish. So there you go. Benoit, Guerrero and Regal win the match. And then after the match, Bubba Ray and Spike come down to make the save. Too bad it took them so long because RVD needed their help about fucking 10 seconds ago. Or not RVD, Jeff Hardy. Two junkies.
Exactly, but... You look at these guys, look at the whole roster. We had them backstage. I'm thinking the NWO again. Why couldn't the entire Raw roster not have just threw like Big Show and X-Pac?
A beating?
Yeah, out the fucking arena, and that was it. Michaels didn't even have to be there. That's what I would have done. Honestly, that's pissed me off. Maybe I shouldn't be so pissed off about it, but I just don't get it.
I would have took McMahon just saying, the NWO is no more. Michaels lost his smile.
I know, but could you imagine though, right? They do the thumbs down to Randy Orton, and then Triple H does his quad, and then like McMahon's like, the evolution era is over, and Batista and Flair just did their own thing. Oh come on! I mean, I can't really think of like here. When was the point where DX like just did not exist anymore? But things are just it just happens, doesn't it?
With DX, you could argue that they were around quite a long time, and it just kind of they fell away. The NWO just started. Michaels was literally talking about last week how they're hitting their heights and all this stuff, and then they're gone.
Exactly, but talking of heights, McMahon is informed of the new general manager. Oh, this is going to be a good reveal because Heyman's like, I'm going to be the general manager. He thinks it could potentially be him, but it's not going to be him because the GM has just arrived. And then we get a surprise visitor. This is a guy who I thought we wouldn't see until his 2003 feud with Kane over Linda.
But it is Shane O'Mac.
I never knew he actually appeared.
Me neither. I guess it was a quick appearance, a cameo appearance for Shane McMahon. He said that they told Vince that he's heard the rumours of who it is, and he said to Vince, you can't allow this guy to be the manager. This guy is a snake. This guy is cancer. This guy is a vulture. And you're going to waste the family business if you appoint him as GM. McMahon says that's rich, considering you tried to put me to business. But Shane said that was family. That was McMahon versus McMahon. This guy ain't family.
Yeah, I see Shane's point of view.
I also see McMahon's point of view.
Like, you're worried. I want ratings.
You're worried about my business, and you try to put me out of business. Exactly. But so did the new guy he's appointing. So whatever. Speaking of families, though, we get the ECW family backstage. Stevie Richards challenges Tommy Dreamer tonight. He says, "Why don't we make our match a Singapore Cane match?" And Stevie Richards says, "I've got my stick. You pull out your stick, and we're good to go." And then Goldust appears and he's talking about sticks and he's like, "Oh, this works for me."
Oh yeah. Pretty sure kayfabe was broke here.
Yeah, Dreamer,
especially on Richards' behalf. It makes sense for Dreamer to laugh, but not really Richards.
Yeah, Dreamer and Richards laughing their head off here. Then Richards tosses Tommy Dreamer a cane, but yeah, it was only to get an advantage, and he smacks him with the cane, leaves, and the camera pans on Tommy Dreamer for like 5 minutes. Don't know why it took so long. Did we really need to see Tommy Dreamer get up, recover, sit down, and sell this cane shot?
Probably not. No.
It's almost like whoever was doing the camera work on Dreamer fell asleep and he forgot to go to the next segment.
Exactly, but you know what? The match was good.
Yeah, enjoyable match.
Big bloody spot though.
And it was at this point I was thinking, you know what? They should have kept the hardcore title for matches like this. Then I totally forgot that they do have the hardcore title.
They have the Texas title.
It's just been held by Booker T. But anyway, good match.
Booker T, mate.
Bradshaw. Jesus Christ. They look the same though. In fairness.
Definitely. Both from Texas.
Well, yeah. Tommy Dreamer defeats Stevie Richards. Then Booker T is backstage with Coachman. He addresses the end of the NWO. He says that he's put those suckers out of business. He's celebrating. He says no, The Rock's not the only one that can do backstage stuff with announcers. He wants Coach to do a little Coach-a-Rooney. Coach does a horrible attempt at a spin-a-Rooney. And then the big moment that we are supposed to get is kind of, in my opinion, wasted here. And I just think, I'm not saying this scene couldn't have been done, but I think this scene should have been done after the next segment.
But the thing is, I've actually seen this Booker T Bischoff segment before. I just had no idea it was Bischoff's first scene.
Yeah, so basically Booker T standing there. Bischoff walks in to the frame. He says, Booker T, basically, nice seeing you here again. Then he walks off and Booker T says, tell me I didn't just see that. And Booker T did see it, but I just think they could have switched it around, and Booker T could have maybe not had seen the announcement since he's not watching the TV, and then it still would have been new to him.
Yeah. I just don't get what the fuck they were going for here. I actually have no idea.
So then McMahon comes out and he's ready to announce the new GM, but we've just literally seen Bischoff appear. Bischoff ain't just appeared for it not to be him.
Exactly.
Different Shane McMahon, and it's different Paul Heyman going backstage, but it's here. Bischoff's a guy that you'd never expect to be working here. So he's not just, it's not like he's come in for a one-off appearance. The fact that Bischoff is...
this is 2002, not garbage 2023.
Yeah, the fact that Bischoff's here means that he's here for a reason, big role, and that role is obviously the new GM. Bischoff's not turned up to Raw to make you, you think it's him, but it's actually not him.
Yeah.
You think Bischoff and McMahon have argued a deal to have Bischoff appear for 10 seconds? A cameo?
It doesn't change the fact this is one of the most iconic moments in like wrestling history, seeing McMahon and Bischoff, but it's just fucking weird.
And I tell you what, the whole night McMahon was like up Bischoff's ass. Yeah. McMahon was very excited for Eric Bischoff, a little bit too excited considering this is the guy that did try and put him out of business and did kick his ass for 83 weeks. Even though Bischoff said in the promo it was 84.
You know what I would have done? I would have had McMahon kick off the show the way he did. Just introduce Bischoff straight away. I know there was a bit of hype throughout the night to this point, but then Bischoff could have been the guy to disband the NWO. He could have been like, I started them, I fucking ended. Something like that. But then...
Or Bischoff says the NWO thinks they're in charge around here, but I'm the one in charge.
I'm not going to let things go out of control like WCW.
And fire
As
them or
of right
something.
now, the NWO is fired. I think that works more, personally.
Yeah, I think they could have done that. Bischoff comes out, talks about everything that he's done, says that he kicked McMahon's ass, said that he stole all McMahon's wrestlers, talks about the time that he brought Medusa and threw the belt in the trash, talked about the time where he would go on air and give away all Raw's results.
Did you not find this weird? This promo?
I'm surprised that he got okayed.
No, Bischoff's a great talker. I've no issue with I felt like he got his points across, but it was just weird. Like he buries the invasion.
It was story
angle.
time, and then he says that he ran the WCW, the real WCW, not this watered down attempt at an invasion. It was almost like it was him just putting himself over and burying McMahon in WWE.
Yeah, I feel like it went 5 minutes too long.
I felt that as well. I wonder what McMahon felt when Bischoff went backstage.
I just don't get what he was really going for.
He is the new GM. He's not going to come out here and go, you know what, I suck. McMahon beat me. Now I'm here to... You know, he has to come out and make himself feel like the alpha male.
Tries to play it as here are new fans. Everyone fucking knows who Eric Bischoff is.
Yeah.
This ain't the minor leagues. This ain't like if Tony Khan came to WWE.
But the commentary for Jim Ross and the King's great as well, because they're playing into this, you know, and they're like addressing and all the things that Bischoff's done, and they helped the promo too. Commentary was different gravy back here.
Yep, the gravy was fully salted, mate, on top of chicken and everything. Talking of chicken, we've got Eric Bischoff bottling it. He confronts the Undertaker. He says, I want the you and WCW big booger red, but you You job me out.
I guess loyalty meant more to you than money. And then Bradshaw kind of puts himself in between Bischoff and Taker, and he says, I'm Bradshaw. I'm the hardcore champion. I'm Bradshaw.
I'm trying to speak to Mr. Calloway here, buddy.
And Bischoff's like, no, that's great, but I don't give a shit about you, Bradshaw. I care about the Undertaker. Weird segment, in my opinion.
Everything he's been involved in has been weird.
It was like Bradshaw was made to look like a fucking bum here.
Yeah.
And I felt like I felt the point of this was Bradshaw just like trying to make it clear that he's got animosity towards Bischoff and he doesn't like him. I think that's what they were going for. But what I got from it was that Bischoff just did not give a shit.
It's almost like, let's piss him off so he goes out and kills Christopher Nowinski.
It was like Bischoff didn't give a shit here about Bradshaw, and all he wanted to do was talk to Undertaker. And it was like Bradshaw was like shit on the bottom of his shoe.
Yeah.
It's the kind of feeling I got for this. Then we get Molly Holly versus Trish Stratus women's title match, throwaway match, just basically what you'd expect here. Nothing extraordinary happened.
Molly wins
with cheating. Just really, really simple, basic type piss break match, basically.
Yeah.
Then we got Eric Bischoff running into Ric Flair. These two have got history. Ric Flair doesn't really have any time for Bischoff, just tells him he's got a match tonight. Bischoff, I think, wants to have things be different between these two this time around, but will it be different?
Who knows, guys? But I tell you something that's no different. Booker T against the Big Show.
Well, it's a Big Show.
Like, what's going on here?
It's a match that I feel like we've already seen.
And guess what? We're seeing it at Vengeance again.
Oh, just not necessary, is it? Anyway, Booker T wins with a DQ. Big Show choke slam through the table.
That's it.
Booker T's laid out. Big Show goes backstage. He's happy with his work. Lesnar is backstage doing pull-ups on like the fucking like the Titantrons.
It's like one of the backlash hooks, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy. This looks heavy. I don't know if it is heavy or not, but it looks heavy.
I'd say it looks heavier than what it is, but it was still
heavy.
Yeah, it was still heavy. It's not like he's lifting the fucking ramp.
But he's doing curls with it as if it's nothing. Almost wiped out Paul Heyman a few times. Paul Heyman's trying to pep talk Brock Lesnar for tonight. Then we got Christopher Nowinski versus Bradshaw. Nowinski was going to lay down, but then he's just lying to Bradshaw. He tries to do a small package. We get the match. Brawls backstage. Bradshaw was being very fucking tough here on Nowinski. He was being stiff.
He definitely is a bully. Like,
he was fucking him up here big time.
Like the steel step shot, it was like fucking trying to crush his skull.
Yeah. Then he you on about the last spot?
No, I'm on about the steel steps out in the ring.
Aye.
The outside. The last spot. I think he's actually trying to decapitate him.
Then he gets back. He smacks him probably as hard as he could with like a steel tray or something like that. And then Nowinski crawls towards like a container with the lid lifted up or whatever. It's like one of those. What would you call it? It's like a gear, like a box container. Like I guess like a container that you'd put equipment in.
Yeah, it's like a moving box sort of thing.
Yeah, and Nowinski puts his head in it, and Bradshaw literally. I mean, I didn't see where this was faked out or anything like that. I didn't see a Nowinski arm. This looked like it came right down on his...
Unless it's a gimmick one. But I doubt that.
What's it made of?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I don't see... But let's be real. Say this is one of those legit ones, and he's did that with that velocity, and there's nothing protecting him. That's neck damage, nerve damage.
Well, this is a guy that fucking did leave the company, like.
No, but look when you like someone smashes their hand like in a car door. This is fucking similar.
Anyway, it didn't look good.
No,
and this would have ended the match, but Bradshaw turned around and John Bull, the Bull Johnny
Stamboli.
That's the one, the Bull Stamboli.
I know he's in the FBI, but what the fuck's he doing here?
So yeah, Johnny Stamboli cracks him with like a 2x4, gets the 1-2-3. He is the new champ. Big Show then wants Booker T at Vengeance. He's talking to Bischoff. Bischoff says, "Look, it's my first night on the job. I can't really do it." Big Show's a little bit disappointed. He's like, "Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't have asked you." But Bischoff says, "I don't want to piss off McMahon." But then Bischoff's like, "You know what? We go a long way back. We're sort of like family." And he makes the match. Big Show's all happy, and he starts hugging Bischoff.
I'm not happy. I'm an angry giant.
Stamboli comes in to see Bischoff. Bischoff is busy watching this like Triple H DVD, and it's weird because you see the TV in the background. You've got Triple H and Austin throwing punches at each other, and we're supposed to care about what Stamboli's saying.
Yeah, I know.
And I was like,
Then Bradshaw's like, I don't care. And he comes in, clothesline for hell, whatever he... Was it clothesline from hell?
Aye, clothesline for hell on Stamboli. Wins back his hardcore title. Then
Which has got a Texas flag on it, which we didn't know about.
Custom design. Then he gets in Bischoff's face and goes, I'm Bradshaw, hardcore champion. So had to tell him that quite a few times. Then we get Undertaker and Brock. They go face to face. Brock says, after you. And Taker's like, nah, I insist.
Good wee start, Di. Two real fucking stars.
Yeah, then we get the main event. Brock and Undertaker versus RVD and Flair. And it was weird because it was a good match, but Ric Flair like literally took about 80% of the load for his team.
And then after, he did nothing. He just lay on the apron.
He took an F5, I think.
Did he?
I took an F5 after he tagged out, but that was it. Couldn't get that word out there, guys. But I don't know. I kind of think you'd expect RVD to be the one to do the majority of the work, but you could argue that RVD's got a lot more offense getting from a hot tag.
Yeah.
So it's like, but I don't know. It was just weird.
Yeah, like Ric Flair comes out, what's he got to do? Just chop.
I don't think that really works, does it?
Van Damme's got kicks, frog splashes, good night, you name it.
RVD's got a lot of impactful moves. He can hit aerial moves that would work against two bigger guys. I'm just not sure what Ric Flair's going to come in at the end of the match. And I don't know, he's not exactly the fastest either. So, I mean, it does make sense, but I just didn't think Ric Flair was going to carry the workload of this match, and he did. RVD was pretty much a passenger till the last couple of minutes.
No, absolutely.
But RVD gets tagged in. We get the four-way. Well, let's say it's not really a four-way. It was like a 2-on-1 thing because Ric Flair's down. Ric Flair then eats an F5. RVD hits like a frog splash on Brock Lesnar, but then Taker comes in, hits the last ride on Van Damme, gets the 1-2-3. Taker wins the match for his team, but we're not done. Brock Lesnar then attacks him from behind and hits an F5 on Taker, making it clear that he wants to be the new undisputed champion. And just when you thought Raw was going to end, it doesn't end there. You've got Eric Bischoff backstage. He is calling The Rock. He leaves a voicemail. He says to The Rock he will see him this Thursday on Smackdown, and he wants to bring The Rock to Monday Night Raw.
Damn, he wants Triple H and The Rock.
Doesn't want much, does he?
Nice. Just like, next he's going to fucking want Austin.
Where's Austin?
Where's Hogan?
Okay.
Where's the whole NWO, all 96 of them? You know what? I enjoyed this, but I feel like the NWO thing and the fact Bischoff did feel a bit disjointed. I'm going to give it a 6. That might be low, but the NWO thing doesn't sit right with me. I don't understand what the fuck they went for.
I thought it was one of the better Raws in a long time. I'm giving it an 8. I thought it was one of the best Raws I've seen in a while.
Yeah, but I think when there's a massive overarching problem, it doesn't really matter what the rest of the show.
Come on, so what, just because the NWO disbanding, you're saying the rest of the show's
I've
pish?
spat the dummy at it,
You have spat the dummy. I'm giving it an 8. You're giving it a 6, 7 out of 10. I mean, I can see you knocking a point off like by 6 out of 10 just because the NWO.
That's why I've not. Yeah, I was going to give it a 7.
Fair enough. That's it, guys. 7 out of 10. We'll catch you in the next one. Make sure you stay tuned for top 5 moments, and until then,
Peace.